Okay.
Horns and Wrinkles, Chapter 2. It's called One Horn. Duke staggered around atop the bridge, wailing and boo-hooing as if a man-eating lion had just jumped out at him. Not that I've ever heard of lions around here. Good thing the wagon wheel bridge was so old, it had been closed to traffic, or a car would have creamed him for sure. Glancing away from my cousin, I found that the old lady had put on reading glasses and was gazing into my eyes as if I were a crystal ball. "Do you see something?" I asked. "Well, river mostly," she said, kinda distracted like. "Some crickets." "Is that good?" I crossed my eyes for a look myself. "Hard to say." The old lady gazed harder, leaning so far forward that it felt as though she might fall right inside me. "There, there," she patted my arm kindly. "Everyone around here has a little river in them. And the crickets aren't anything to worry about, you know. Unless they're white, of course. Then you have to keep an eye on them. But that boy up there, the one who mistook you for a warthog, now he's another matter. He requires a bit of worrying, I'd say. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something not quite straight about that one." Just then Duke cut loose with a whoop 10 times worse than I thought a lion had had him. Looking up, I saw that now he was being dangled over the edge of the bridge. I did a double take, thinking maybe some river trolls had nabbed him. Of course, I'd never seen a river troll, only heard of them, so I couldn't be sure that I'd recognize one right away, but after a bit I could see that the pair holding Duke were only boys, about high school size. The way they were cackling, you could tell that hanging my cousin off the bridge was going to be the high point of their day. "You big baby," one of them said, sneering. The one talking had small, mean eyes and curly blonde hair that poked out like thistles. His partner had large, mean eyes and a straight blonde hair that sat on his head like a shingle. They had split Duke's legs between them, one apiece, and were shaking him up and down while grinning like crocodiles. They'd unzipped his jacket pockets, so a steady stream of trinkets were raining on the river. "Please, please, please," Duke blubbered. "Whose bridge is this?" the curly blonde demanded. "Yours," Duke wailed. "It's yours." "And who said you could use it?" the straight-haired blonde asked. "No one," Duke whimpered. "And another thing," the curly blonde went on, "we're the only ones who hang kids off of this bridge." "Well, it won't happen again," Duke promised. "Never, I swear." "I don't trust him," the curly blonde said. "Look at the way he's covering his face," the straight-haired blonde agreed. "Something's happened to my nose," Duke whined. "Like what?" "A bee sting," Duke said. "I think." "Is he sassing us?" the straight-haired blonde wanted to know. "I'm not," Duke promised. "Move your hands then. We're not asking again either." Duke lifted his hands away. Even from down below I could tell something bad had happened to my cousin's face. Something had squeezed his nose and darkened it and made it look like a coat hook. "Ugh!" grunted the curly blonde. "I can't stand to hold him." "I'd hate to meet that bee," that straight-haired blonde snickered. "Don't draw me," Duke begged. "I'll do whatever you want, anything at all. I'll be your complete and everlasting toad." "You're too ugly to be a toad, way too ugly." "But I can't swim." They dropped him and then leaned over to see if he'd been lying about not being able to swim. Their pink mouths gaped like 2 baby crows who just pushed a brother out of the nest. A stone couldn't have fallen any straighter than Duke did. Head first all the way. There wasn't a dandelion fluff to his 2.5-second fall. After splashdown, he disappeared under the old brown waters without a gurgle. At the most, there were a few bubbles and a tiny whirlpool no bigger than a dinner plate. Up on the bridge, the two bullies gave each other a high five, sailed the cap the Duke had been wearing, my cap, over the river, and took off. Unlike Duke, the cap landed in the rowboat, right at my feet. The old lady dusted its brim a little bit and handed it to me, saying, "Yours, I believe."